Good morning, church. Good morning, friends and family and neighbors and all of the God's people. I'm here to introduce you to a friend of mine, a co-worker at my workplace that has some story to tell you about Church of Christ, the church of which Christ himself bought with his own blood. I try not to engage people too much with what my belief system are, but sometimes people will be curious to know what I do and where I worship with. And this gentleman have a story to tell you. I'm going to yield so he can tell you the story.
Hey folks, hi. My name's Dean Pattison. I'm here at Ideal Cars with my pal Sunday, who I can't spell his last name, but I love him dearly. Now, that being said, he wanted me to tell a story about some neighbors I had in St. Louis. I lived in St. Louis the first half of my life, and now I sell cars here in Mesa, Arizona. Long sort of journey, but here we are. Now, my pal Sunday wanted me to tell you about my neighbors in St. Louis. Steve and Judy, I won't mention their last name because they'd be embarrassed because they're sweet people. Now, Steve and Judy, I moved in next 2 doors down from them in a cul-de-sac. And my wife and I were newly married, and Steve and Judy had been married a long time. They became such good friends. And they invited us to their church. My wife is very atheist. She wouldn't want any part of it, but nice people. And my faith aligns very closely with the Church of Christ. I was United Church of Christ, Evangelical and Reformed when I was a child. So I have a basis of faith that's very similar to the Church of Christ. These people were Church of Christ members, and there were so many things I could tell you about how they helped us out. We would go out to dinner with them now and then. We would play like game nights. We would play board games with them. Just the nicest people. They had 2 children that were very well behaved, very good kids. And now they're very successful too. But they always exemplified how Christ would want us to be. They would ask us if we needed anything. They were always, right there if we needed something. I remember when we sold our house to move here to Arizona, the termite inspector found termites. And it wasn't termites live, it was old damage. And I didn't know how to fix it. It was in the rafters of the basement, the subfloor basically. Didn't know how to fix it. I was young and dumb and I didn't know how to fix that. Steve, I mentioned it to Steve one day. I got to have a contractor come over and take care of this. He said, no, you don't. I'm going to take care of that for you. I know how to do that. Well, Steve was a military guy for years. He worked as a manager of a truck stop. He was very successful. So he came over with a couple of 2x4s, a couple of screws and bolts, and put it all together. It took him 10 minutes. It was like nothing for him. But it meant a lot to me, because I didn't have to hire a contractor to fix my home, pay that extra money, and all that. And they were just that kind of people. Whenever my wife, Shelley, had a problem with something, Judy would be right there to help out. That's how Christ taught us to live. Love one another as you love yourself. And all the other rigmarole will go away if we do it right. Anyway, Sunday, anything else to say?
Well, you told me that the Church of Christ that you happen to share with have a reputation. What's that reputation? And the community thought of the Church of Christ.
Sure. Everybody in that neighborhood, subdivision, call it what you want, just thought that the church, which was very nearby, it was only about 2 miles away, they knew they could find refuge there, they knew they could find help, they knew they could find love. And golly, isn't that what we all look for?
Dean, you've been so kind to me to share your experience with my congregation. I really believe that what we do to others will speak better than how we talk to others, how we preach about the gospel. But gospel in action is better than gospel in talking. I would like us to be more active than preaching.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you, Sunday, for giving me the opportunity to talk to your folks. I appreciate it. It's a wonderful world, folks. We just have to be right with it.
Thank you, Dean.
You bet. Take care, folks.